Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ife Artistry. If you're stopping by for the first time, you are definitely welcome to the family. Okay guys, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, put on your post notifications, post, like and share my videos. Sharing is actually caring. Do not forget that. Okay guys, so in today's video I started with cleaning her face with micellar water and angel wipes. So after that I went ahead to moisturize her face with my moisturizer, with the Cetaphil moisturizer. So when I'm putting on moisturizer, I definitely put that generously on the face, and after putting that, after applying it on the face with my brush, I go ahead with, I use fan to actually dry it up a little bit, and then use my hand and blend it in and make sure I push it in into the skin. I used to make sure that everything is really dry before I proceed to another part. Okay guys, so after that I used my primer to prime her T-zones and equally her brows, because I love to prime the brows to remove any excess oil on the skin. Okay guys, so after that I went ahead with my foundation. I'm using the Jaydriz foundation and the Nuban Beauty foundation here. Okay guys, so I'm going to be leaving the shades and the description bar below. Actually, this is not actually a model, she's a client. She came in and she needed her makeup done, so I said let me film the look, you know. So I wouldn't definitely be showing most of the products, because like if I'm working on a client, I didn't really have that much time to be doing all that. Okay guys, so moving on, I started blending her face with my beauty blender. Is a very soft and damp beauty blender. So I blended the foundation into her skin. After that I begin to highlight her face with my concealer, the Nuban Beauty concealer in shade 02, and then I'm using the Younger Beauty. So I use the Nuban Beauty concealer in the inner corners of the eyes, inner corners of the highlighted areas, and I'm using this Younger Beauty concealer in the outer part. And the Younger Beauty concealer is actually a bit darker, so it's almost close to her shade, so like I have to put that in the outer part so that it's not going to be very difficult for me to blend into the skin. So when you use a darker part of darker concealer in the outer corner, it's going to be easy for you to blend it into the skin. Like the transitioning will not be so difficult. So after that guys, I went ahead to contour her face with a darker shade of my foundation, the Jaydriz foundation. I think I'm using the shade 08 of the Jaydriz foundation to contour her face. So I put that down, and then I begin to, you know, blend the foundations into her skin. Don't mind that I made this video a bit faster, because my blending game or whatever takes a longer time. Like it takes a whole long time for me to actually blend. So like if you know how I have to cut these videos and, you know, trim it down so that it's not going to be too long of me blending a particular step and all that. Okay guys, so moving ahead, I begin to blend the excess concealer I had left over on the face, because like I didn't really blend everything at first, so I used to leave it for a while for it to get tacky. So I have to blend that in, because I think at that point I was already satisfied with what I have remaining. So after that I went ahead with my Becharmageless Cosmetics lip stain to for her blush. So I used the lip stain as a blush. Of course, that's what I use for in all my videos, if you know that. Okay guys, so I went ahead with using the Merak Cosmetics setting powder to set her face, to set the highlighted areas of her face. Okay guys, so I'm using the setting powder to, you know, set the concealers I already put on the face. So after setting the concealer, I know that at least I've secured those places that it cannot really be ruined by, you know, just my hand going there and all that. So going ahead, I'm just, you know, setting the highlighted areas. So after that I'm using the Jaydriz Cosmetics powder palette to set the rest of the face. I already set the highlighted areas with the setting powder, the Merak Cosmetics. So after that, I'm using the Jaydriz now to set her face. Okay guys, so how I set the other place, like not the contour places with like her shade, her powder shade, but when it comes to contour, I use a darker shade to actually set it. So after that, I'm making a contour, her nose contour. I'm using the shade, the darker shade for her nose contour from the palette. Yeah, so after making that contour shade, I'm using the Zulu powder, the Zulu eyeshadow palette, not a powder, the Zulu eyeshadow palette. I'm using that. So I have to ask the client or the model to smile so that her cheeks will come up for me. Then I'm going to be using the Zulu to make her blush, her cheek blush. Okay. So after doing that, I have to start drawing the brows. So if you guys notice, I don't like to bake before I do my brows. I do the brows after the brows before I bake, because like for me, my baking actually, if it's not because of really catching fallout, I might not really be baking. So because when I set the face, I set the face very well. I don't do it like halfway. I set it very well so that it's like it's set, it's ready to go. So the reason why I bake is just for me to catch fallout from the eyeshadow. So that's the reason why I put on the setting powder when I'm doing eyeshadow. And once I'm done with eyeshadow, I take it off, because I recently noticed that if I keep using, what is it called, if you leave the setting powder on the face for a very long time, it's actually going to take away the moisture you want the face to retain, you know, in the long run. So why do I have to, if I use so much moisturizer to get the face to have the moist I want it to have, then I will still use setting powder and take it away? No. So I try my best to not to do that. So after that, I fill in the brows with my Davis pencil in color 08, and after that, then I started concealing the brows now with my flat brush from Merak Cosmetics, and I'm using the concealers the Nigerian brand concealers that I have, the Nuban Beauty and the Zikel, to conceal her brows. Okay, I just watched the video and see how I'm doing that. Just, you know, basically concealing the brows, nothing really much. After concealing, I use my powder to, you know, buff it out and blend it in, you know, just not really blend, I just pat it and set it at a place. It's not as if I'm really going to dust out the concealers, because like I need that concealers in the under eye, just that I'm going to set it and make sure it's neat for me to work with. Okay, and still remember the shade I'm going to be using in the beginning of the brows, like the beginning close to her nose contour, is going to actually be a darker shade, because I wouldn't want to use a lighter shade. Then when it moves into my contour, it's going to create a demarcation there. So definitely you wouldn't want to do that. Okay guys, so moving ahead, I'm going to, you know, bake the face. Like I said, I bake the face to catch fallout, you know. So after baking the face, I started putting on the eyeshadow primer, so that I'm going to do eyeshadow. Okay, so she requested for a particular look of the eyeshadow, so I'm going to actually give her what she wants, what she requested for. And I don't know guys, but this client actually asked me to make her face lighter than her skin. Honestly, I was trying to do that, but I don't know if I could do it. I think she's actually dark skinned. The setting powders I used on her face shouldn't really be this shade. But at the end of the day, I equally still forgot that these powders have no colors. Like, they don't leave colors. So even if I try, I think I would have done that with the foundation and the concealer. But like, I was looking at myself like, how am I supposed to intentionally do something that is wrong? You know, so I just, in my head, I was just going to give her a nice look. Like, at the end of the day, she actually really did love her look. She really did love it. But like what she told me when she came in was, if like, I want my face to be light. Like, I don't want to be dark. Like, for crying out loud, you're dark skin, so why do you want you know, something like that? But at the end of the day, she really did love her face. She loved the look and all that. So she requested for this eyeshadow. So here we go. We are creating that. she wanted her eyes to pop with this particular shade. Okay, so we are doing it. Okay guys, so going over to blending her eyes. Like guys, blending of eyeshadow is the key. And from now on, okay, so guys, I don't know, unfortunately I shouldn't be saying this in my video right now, but I went ahead with putting the so I'm using a pigment here, but I'm using a pigment from an eyeshadow. Like I didn't use a pigment from like another you know. So after putting on the pigmented eyeshadow that I used, like I was supposed to add a pigment on the eyes. So but there's this eyeshadow that I have that the pigment is from another world. So that was actually I put on a pigment glue and I added that eyeshadow on top, and it came out so nice. I don't know if you guys understand what I explained right now. So like I put on an eyeshadow, so I'm supposed to now put on a pigment on top, but what I added on top after putting the pigment glue was an eyeshadow again, and it's popping. If you are looking at it, like I think this video is not really doing justice to that. This video is not doing justice to that, but this is so good. Like it's so beautiful. It was like popping. I'm like, wow. I added another eyeshadow on top of an eyeshadow, and it was giving me the glow I wanted. So, and it was really nice, honestly. So after that, now after the blending and everything, I began to line her eyes with my gel liner, the Zaron gel liner. I think I have to go back with doing all this dramatic, you know, look. But that's by the way, we're gonna do that soon. If she closes her, like you can see how that eyeshadow is really popping. That was not a pigment, that was just like it's an eyeshadow. Wow, like it's so nice. Okay guys, so I was done with the eyes. I fixed the lashes. After lining the eyes, I fixed the lashes, and then I begin to I begin to blend out the sex setting powders on the face. Like I told you guys, once I'm done with the eyeshadow and I take out the fallouts from the eyes, I dust out the setting powder. Okay guys, so I have to re-emphasize everything I've done on the face. After doing that, I added my blush back, did everything, and then when I was ready and I was sure that everything is on point, everything is set, guys, I have to set the face with my setting spray. In this video, I used the Nuban Beauty, I think, Jaydriz Cosmetics setting spray. I guess that's a brand name. That setting spray, I've used it for decade, like ever since I started makeup, I've been using Nuban. So like Nuban is one of my favorite setting spray. Okay guys, so after that I begin to line her lips. Okay guys, so if it's left for me, this look I would have actually done a nude lips, but she wanted something that is like popping. She wanted, like, what she wanted was red. I think, was it red or pink? I don't know. So I'm like, okay, let me do something else, a little bit dramatic and all that. So she didn't want a nude look, like she didn't want it to be nude, and the eyes is already this color, so like the eyes is not really shouty. Okay, so I was like, let me give her something else on the lips. Okay, and again, remember, so she had a very full lips, and I was not about to, you know, overline the lips, so I just gave it the line and gave it a little bit shape. So after doing the dark pink, mixing of dark pink and the brown together, I added a lighter pink in the inner lips, just like a nude. That shade is actually a light pink. The name is Spice from the Becharmageless Cosmetics. So I added that inside the lips and then blended it, and that was how I got that color. So after that, I did my I added the gloss. That is from Classic, the gloss from Classic. Okay guys, so we are done, and this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.